What is going on, everybody? How we doing? What is good? Sorry I wasn't live streaming yesterday. I actually ended up taking a little bit of a break. I went a bit hard on the weekend due to the app launch. But hey, Ace is live. Like, let's go. About time, right? How we doing, Alpha? What's good? So I actually wanted to start the stream off today by just kind of showcasing how the launch went and just kind of talking about, some things that I learned along the way. Of course, how much money I made, and a bit more on the analytical side on like how things converted and stuff like that. So I want to start by saying that thank you so much if you did join and try the app out. I've been getting a ton of feedback, and we're moving really quickly. Huge shout out to Jmart and Vince. They've literally helped a shit ton with getting the app. Jmart's been handling like the Windows side of the app. Vince has been helping a lot with bugs and potential ways to like break the app. So huge shout out to those two. Thank you. I haven't been paying them or anything. They just offered to help. So that's massive shout to those two. But yeah, so this was the launch day. Now, I did not plan this at all. I actually kind of messed up because I was kind of thinking, yeah, I'll just make like a post and I'll just record a video and I'll just post it and it'll be good. But no, there was actually a lot of things that I didn't know. For one, I had an email list of like 1,500 people. It was actually like 2,500 people on the email list. But then once I combed through the email list, like taking away all the duplicates, taking away all the emails that like were like test@test.com. It ended up only being like 1,500, which was a bit disappointing. But learning how to do emails is actually kind of challenging because people charge an arm and a leg depending on the service that you use. So sending out to 1,500 people, we ended up using a tool called Resend, which was really cool. Probably shouldn't share the emails, but it's really handy because you can do this. You can kind of see how the email is going to look before you send it. So you can see this is kind of how the email was going to look. And it was really annoying because I designed this really nice email when I first started. I did it on Claude Design. Huge shout out Claude Design, by the way, because it is a massive boost in the emails. But like, check how nice this email looks, guys. Look how clean this email looks. Look at that. It's like, Ace, what up, Aubrey? How you doing? You got like the boom. It's got like a countdown. It shows like a little animation. And I just went hard. I was like, this is the coolest launch email ever. And then I sent it out to everyone. And, I didn't send it out to everyone. I did a bunch of tests first. And turns out that because there's so many like images and things, and I'm like talking about sales and all this stuff, it was too salesy basically. And it went into everyone's spam it went into my spam and my promotional kind of section. And I was like, oh, no one's going to see it if it goes into there. So I was like, I kept basically sending test emails out until I finally got to a level where it was coming into my actual inbox. And this is all I could say. This is literally all I could say for it to go into my inbox. The wait is over. Thanks for being here early, Doobie. And then I'd link the YouTube video. Like, I didn't get to say any of the extra stuff, which was a bit of a bummer, but I'd rather go in the inbox than in the promotion side. So that was the launch. We did a Discord post, 2,000 members plus in the Discord. We did a school post. There's about 500 people in the school community. I did a video, which was very rushed, by the way. You can see it was only 3 minutes long. And I have a lot of issues with this video as well because I rushed it. But the biggest one is probably the fact that there's no before and after. Like, I just show Ace and its use case, but I don't actually show any of the like before and after. Like this is what this is what it looks like if you just use Claude. This is what it looks like if you use Ace. And like showing the before and after output, I think would have been way more higher converting than just kind of how I went about this. I did a YouTube post and I also did some shorts across YouTube, Insta. So this is kind of the launch. I think, yeah, in hindsight, I could have probably done like a cool promo video. Like I could have hired like an animator. I could have really gone a bit harder. But yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out for the amount of effort that I put in. It was basically one full day. I started from like 7 a.m. in the morning up until like 11 p.m. at night. So like what, 15 hours of work. I just pumped through this whole launch, and yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. I learned a lot. Made me realize that I definitely shouldn't leave everything until the last day. That was definitely a bad call. But with the launch, we were able to generate 1,450 users on the website, which is pretty good. Like if we were to do a conversion rate, I'd say all in all we got basically 1,500 members. So let's say we had 1,500 in the newsletter. You can see that let's say we generated about 2,000 in terms of views across all videos. Actually, maybe we'll bump it to 2,500. We got school community, 500 people. We've got a Discord community, we'll say 2,000 people. And then we've got a YouTube post with 50 likes. So I'll just double it and say there was 100 people that saw it. So that leaves us at 6,600. And of that, if we were to divide that, wrong way. I always do that by 4,500. We have basically a 20% conversion. That's actually not bad. That's pretty good. That means 1 in 5 people who watched or interacted with a post converted to a website visitor. So that's pretty interesting. I actually wasn't expecting it to be that high. That's really high. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, interesting. And then of that, we had 28 people who entered the checkout, okay? 28 people entered the checkout. So that's a huge jump, right? We're now going from 1,450 to 28. So that's a 0.02% conversion, basically. So I think rule of thumb from my experience is 3 to 5% is a really good conversion. Like if you get in that ballpark, you're doing really well. So 0.019%, it's okay. It's all right. But I haven't even broken the bad news yet. Like this isn't actually everyone who paid. This is just people who went to the checkout. So the conversion rate from checkout to payment is actually even lower than that. I think it was 12. So that means we lost about like 50-60% of people from the checkout page, which is interesting. So that leaves us to literally less than 1%, which is actually making me realize like, okay, that's a terrible conversion. That's a really bad conversion. That means the website needs a lot of work we need to improve on. And I think I'll go into what I think we could improve on the website in a second. But yeah, this is also a bit of what Vince and Jmart were helping me out with. Vince literally removed like 20% of all the code in the project. And so that's pretty interesting. He said that apparently there's like certain patterns that the AI does when it's coding, and you can actually remove those patterns. And I don't fully understand. I'm probably butchering it, but he basically said that you can remove a lot of the code and the app's still going to work. He does it all the time. And so he moved like 25,000 lines of code or something. I was like, damn, that's incredible. Awesome. Jmart as well came in here using linear. I need to look into, but he was basically like, yeah, found a bunch of bugs, helped fix it. So that's pretty cool. So now the moment of truth. So yeah, of that, it was actually closer to 12 who actually turned into paying subscribers. And we ended up with $744 during the launch. Now, I will say, like, the goal in my head was probably 1,000. I was like, if we can hit 1,000, I'll be happy. Like, that was kind of my goal in my head that I had, like the number. Everyone has a number, right? And I was like, yeah, like a thousand's about like where I'd be happy. If we hit 1,000, I'm happy. So 744, it's like definitely on the lower end. But at the end of the day, like, it's not like it's a one-time product and you just release it to the market and the launch is like everything. Like, no, I feel like you got to look back and think like, no, this is actually a trickle, you know, and the fact that we got $744 off the launch is actually really good. And, you know, I'm going to continue to live stream every day. I'm going to continue to make videos every day. Up until this point, I've never had a product to sell. Even when we first started this series, like the product that I was making was a crypto product, and like obviously everyone watching this live stream isn't like, my niche isn't crypto. So I was selling to a different audience. And so I feel like now it's kind of nice because now I can continue to progress on the live streaming challenge while also being able to showcase and I guess upsell my app. So yeah, it's nice to know that we have that now. And yeah, $744, guys. That's what we did. Now, if I was to, let me look at the chat. I haven't really looked at the chat that much. What are we saying? F4 DLS, it's 2% now, 0.02%. As in the conversion rate. Yeah, you should have made it so you show what the app is really for and what it is great at and showcase the big difference. Yeah, exactly. I messed up huge. Like, it was the moment I posted the video, I went to sleep because I was just working on it the whole day. And then I woke up the next morning and I watched it and I was like, this video is not that good. This is not a great. So I'm kind of looking at this as more like a beta launch. If I'm being completely honest, I think as we continue to improve the app, we're going to go a bit harder and ramp things up. But yeah, we're getting a ton of feedback now, which is great. We're going to be able to move really quickly. But all in all, it's not bad. Not bad for 48 hours. Have you gone down the route of payment processing errors? That was my issue at checkout this time around 2. Down the route of payment processing errors. I have not gone down that route. Although I have gotten one message from someone who was interested in paying, who found an issue. So it's worth exploring what happened there as well, which I kind of want to do this live stream. As one of the 300 ClickBank Premier seller, I can recommend monthly recurring payment. Never make a sale. You have to go out the next day and make another with a recurring income. You wake up with rebills. As one of the 300 ClickBank Premier seller, I can recommend monthly recurring payment. Never make a sale. Okay. You have to go out the next day and make another with a recurring income. You wake up with rebills. I mean, that's a fair take, but I don't really plan to make another one. So we'll have to see and navigate that as we go. This was really just for the early supporters. I kept getting an error saying the payment gateway timed out. After you launch, email went out just to give you a sense of timeline. Interesting. Okay, so I wonder if other people face that as well. Are you thinking of making a product demo video to show what it does that you can promote on Facebook, etc.? I'm looking to more go for organic at the moment. Organic is kind of how I'm planning to push this further. But I'm going to try and keep pushing like short form content and stuff. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Interesting. So Aubrey kept getting an error. What browser were you using, Aubrey? If you don't mind me asking. Because I thought we fixed that issue. but it's worth. So getting an error saying the payment gateway timed out. That's so funny. For context, Aubrey was literally like the first person to come in the chat and say that she wanted to try the app out for herself. And now, and she kept running into errors, which we fixed. Well, I thought we fixed, and now she's saying there's another error. So that's kind of funny, considering that from the US, but that shouldn't make a difference. Okay. I mean, we can look into that for sure. Obviously, we want to fix the payment. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I mean, Aubrey, look, if you missed out on the sale, feel free to DM me, and we can make it work. Yeah. There's either a Discord link in the description, or you can message me on the school community as well, if you're looking to get that discount since you tried and it didn't go through. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is this VSL. I think this VSL actually does a lot of heavy lifting, and it's already outdated because the last 10 seconds is literally still just talking about the sale. So we need to change the VSL. We need to show before and afters. And I think this VSL will literally do a lot of the heavy lifting. If we can get a really solid demo and showcase like, you know, the before and after of Ace, I think people would really, that's the sell. It's the before and after. Like all this is nice, but I think the VSL is going to be the main kind of seller on the website. What is the pricing for the app? So we're doing $8.25 a month if you use the annual, or $15 a month if you use the monthly. That's just the set pricing. And that just gives us a bit of flexibility in terms of what we want to do moving forward. Like, let's open it up. But yeah, you can check on the website. We got docs in there. We now support Windows, where we were only doing Mac to start with, thanks to Jmart pulling through. We do have a Windows version here. But yeah, pretty stock standard. Check it out if you haven't already. There's a link in the description. But today, what I want to do is I want to keep debugging the app and fix this freaking payment, so Aubrey and others can join in. Appreciate it, but I don't need the sale. I just want to give you money. Oh, Aubrey, you're too sweet. Okay. Hopefully we can hit 1,000 by end of week. That's kind of the goal. If we can get 1,000 by the end of the week, we are cheering. Can you go through the app live, please? Yeah, of course. Also, if you're interested, you can feel free to check out the video where I'll probably go a lot more in depth. This one right here is basically the app launch video where I talk about it in depth. But this is Ace, okay? And basically when I first launched Ace, I had one kind of gap in my head where I was like, I need to fill. And the gap is we all have these subscriptions. We have subscriptions to ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all these different apps, all these different AI models, right? Because you can't just have one, because every single week or 2 weeks, it's quite a competitive landscape, and there's a new AI model that seems to take the charts and everyone moves over to there. But what I kind of thought was a problem is I'm always using multiple models at the same time, and there's no kind of real way to get them to talk to each other in a professional way, not yet at least. And so I built Ace, and Ace basically lets you connect AI agents together to build more complex workflows. So here's a real simple one. You can see I've got Codex researching, I've got Codex planning, and then I've got Claude building. And what's really neat about this is you don't even need multiple plans anymore. I noticed that you can actually just use the same plan and give each agent a system prompt that is different. So for example, if I click onto this one, you can see the system prompt for this is you are the plan agent for weather app, blah, 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 blah. And then this agent has its own task. And the way that I kind of look at this is like, imagine you're at a company, and do you hire the one guy to do everything, or do you hire the specialist for script writing, and then the specialist for editing, and then the specialist for speaking? And then that kind of creates a better video or a better output than if you were just one guy trying to do everything. And the same rule kind of applies in AI that I've found, is you can actually specialize agents to do specific tasks. And so rather than them spending 50 minutes, one agent spending like 50 minutes and trying to do everything, you have each agent spend like 15 minutes to do one specific thing, and it ends up with a better output. Yes, you still need the individual subscription. So it is bring your own keys. I guess on that, I could pay for the AI models myself. Like I could cover that. But if I was to cover that, it would actually be a lot more expensive to pay for this app, because the API billing, everyone knows the API billing for Codex and Claude is way more expensive than the subscription. So I kind of built it in a way that the user brings their subscription. They don't have to pay their API billing. They just connect their subscription to the app and they can use it. And yeah, I just thought, this is the cheapest possible method, because if I pay for the AI bills, then the app's going to have to cost a lot more. And I didn't want that. I wanted the app to be a lot cheaper. So yeah, this is it. What's really cool is it's really good at one-shotting apps. So you can actually start from scratch and build your own workflow, or you could build a team, which is actually a guided onboarding. And so you could hit build a team, name your project. I've done so many tests now, I have forgotten. I'll just do, I can do a maze game. I'll just say maze game, and then continue. Then I'll just say, I want to build a maze game on localhost, and I just want to be able to go through a maze with my character. So this is kind of the mission, right? Could offer cloud option. That's definitely something we could offer. Jmart, I agree. I'd be open to exploring that once in the future for sure. So yeah, this is kind of the mission section where you just explain what it is that you want to build. The more detail, the better. Oh shit, I just clicked out of it. I mean, we could probably make that non-clickable right now. Now I got to go again. Maze game. Accidentally clicked out. But what's really cool is we have this mic icon here. I want to build a maze game on localhost where I have a character that goes through a maze. And this kind of transcribes your voice. So you can literally just talk for like a few minutes straight and say what it is that you want to build. Then hit continue. And now it's going to basically scan that question and come up with any questions to clarify the final output. And this is going to give the AI team a better understanding of what it is the goal, like what is the goal. So for example, how should the character move through the maze? We use arrow keys or WASD. Like that is quite a pivotal question. It might build it with your mouse, but obviously we're all thinking you're going to use your keyboard. What should the maze look and feel like? Retro pixel art style, minimal browser system, simple 2D top down. We could do that. What does a finished first version need to include for it to feel done? Character reaches the exit. New random maze each time. We could go character reaches the exit. And then here I left a little box for you to add anything extra, just in case answering these questions kind of sparked a couple extra ideas. Then you just hit continue, build out your team. You can go up to 7 or 1 or 2. I like to pick 3. 3 is like a good spot. Then you can hit continue. Recurring is like if you were to build like a script. So you want like a morning briefing, or you want like a weekly YouTube script that scrapes the internet for AI news, and then you can talk about it on YouTube. That's kind of what the weekly, monthly thing is for. But one-off, because we're building like a one-off app. Continue, and now it's actually constructed a team for you. And if you click on it, you can actually see the system prompt that is generated based off of your answers as well. So this is really cool. If you don't like it, like you can obviously like swap them out. Like for the purpose of this, I might just do Codex, all three, just to show that you can use them. You can regenerate the prompt. But yeah, this is basically the onboarding, and then you can just hit create project. And now it's going to create a project. If you've got your GitHub connected, it's going to create a GitHub repo. And now this is just going to work and come up with that final output with Codex doing the research, and then Codex doing the plan, and then Codex doing the build. But because they're split up into 3 separate kind of specialized tasks, the output should come out a lot better. And you know what? Maybe we can test it right now. I'll get a new chat going here. Turn Whisper Flow on. Yo, why is Whisper Flow not on? Oh, there it is. Let's make sure we got the right microphone. All right, cool. I want to build a simple maze game on localhost. That was it, right? A Claude $20 subscription. I mean, if you were to do that, I would recommend you can change the models here. So you can always choose like a cheaper model. So you could go Claude with Sonnet and have 3 of those. That could work. Claude still allows -p usage. So yeah, exactly. Are you able to connect your subscription to things? I thought you could only use a Claude console thing. You can now use connect Claude to third-party apps. They backtracked on that, which is interesting because like, man, it's so annoying. Everyone's always changing their workflows and stuff, and to accommodate for these new announcements, and then they keep backtracking on them. So it's definitely a bit frustrating. But yeah, these 2 are going to go work now. I'm going to open up Conductor. Also, let me check the repo and just gauge. Is Ace like base 44? I mean, in what way would you say? Sonnet 4.6 is still pretty decent. Yeah, I heard rumors of Sonnet 4.5 coming out soon. Hey, Jmart. Just check the state of dev. 7 commits behind main. Okay. Another thing worth noting as well is you are sacrificing a bit of speed. Like, obviously 3 agents is going to be a lot slower than 1 agent, right? So you are sacrificing speed. I guess things that I need to improve on with the app is showing a bit more of a preview of what things might cost, how long things might take when you're actually looking to build your app idea. Because I think that if we show that, people will be a bit more cautious and double check on the prompt and stuff. By the way, can you connect only the subscription version or only API? You can connect both. So let's say you want to do the subscription for Claude and then the API for Codex, you can do that as well. Obviously, GLM 5.2 came out, blew everyone's mind. So we're looking to potentially add GLM 5.2 to this as well. And more models like Kimi K, Minimax, and yeah, let me know what models you guys might want to see. Your benchmark you was building could help with that. Dude, 100%. That's true. The server is running already. See, that was quick. We're not even on fast mode. The browser smoke test found only a favicon. Is it multi-agents working on your projects? Yeah, exactly. And how did you code eighth? What tools is it Vibecoding with Claude Code or else? I'm trying to understand because I'm always looking further. Basically you use the Claude design to design every single feature. And this helps you like visualize what something's going to look like and make sure it looks nice before you actually implement it. So I use this a shit ton. Here's like an example of me using it specifically for this little sidebar section. So literally I designed this little sidebar section and then you can see like how it came out. And so this helps you like visualize, okay, every single feature and element of your app, which will then help you build a better app. Because you're not just like prompting AI and then hoping and praying that the end result's going to be nice. You're actually prompting AI and giving it visual kind of wireframes and stuff like that. So I did this a shit ton. What else have I got in here that I can share? Like the whole app, like even look, you can see the onboarding. Look how many different variations I went through just for this little onboard. Step 3, how big should your team be? I had one where you could move the slider and like it shows it like this. I had one where you move the slider and it shows it like a circle. I had one where it moves the slider and just kind of shows you a straight line. But then this is the one that I ended up going with because it felt the most original, authentic. And so I went with this one. But yeah, you can see I went through so many different iterations. And this is really helpful because you might prompt your agent and then end up with this version. And you would have never known that there were plenty of other versions out there that you would have liked. You might just settle for this, you know? Or it might look a lot worse than that. So yeah, it was a huge help. Claude design definitely got me. Even Vince was looking at the code base and it was like, damn, man, this looks rough. Like, I think Claude design was like the only reason that the app got as far as it did. And I was like, geez, thanks, I think. I don't know. But yeah, you can see like what it looks like in dark mode. This is what it looks like when you connect, when you start a loop as well. I wanted to like create a cool animation so that users knew when something was looping. So for example, here you have like this little thing you can menu click and you can like change how many times you want to iterate. And you've got like all the boxes inside. Claude design is such a cool looking waste of weekly usage, lol. Nah, it's actually really good. I don't see it a waste at all because yeah, like I said, you're spraying and praying. If you don't use some sort of guidance visually. And how did you code all the backend? Just from Vibecoding, man. I just use Conductor. This is the app that I've been using. The goal is to stop using Conductor and start using Ace. Okay, Maze Runner has completed for Codex. How are we looking over here? Still going. Okay, cool. We'll let that cook. Let me work on the... Okay. Looks like they're both done. All right, moment of truth, man. I'm nervous. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's first open up Codex. Okay. All right. So this is... Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you who did what. We're just going to play them both and I'm going to do a poll. So let me just end poll real quick. And we're going to create a poll. Who Which maze game is better? And then we'll do maze. So they're both called Maze Runner, which is a bit... Alright, well, this is option 1. A and B. Alright. Man, I really hope this works. URL leak. I mean, this isn't going to do anything because it's local hosted. So anyway, this is the first game. Let's see. I'm moving it. Okay, it's a bit jittery, but I mean, it's working. Let's see. It's weird because it's like overlapping here a little bit. Maybe let me just go full screen. Yeah, weird. Overlapping here a little bit. Okay, there's different difficulties. New maze hint. Okay. This is the first one, all right? Option A. Oh, interesting. Okay, so now I'm behind the thing, which is a bit weird. But anyway. One thing I will say is I feel like it's pretty easy. Whoa, that was weird. I like teleported to the bottom. I don't know if you guys could see that. Okay. I just want to see if there's an animation at the end. This is option A. Dude, wait, is there an end? I actually can't see an end. Guys, I'm confused. Where is the end for this game? If you look at the maze, there's no end. Have I just gone backwards? I think I've just gone backwards. Oh no. I'm actually confused now. I think I've just gone backwards. Oh, that's a dead end. Where is the... Okay, I think this is the route I'm meant to go. Yep. Okay. Oh, okay. So, I don't know if you guys can see, but there is basically this little green dot at the bottom there. Okay, and it tells you your thing. Okay, 312 moves. All right, interesting. So this is option A. Let's look at option 2. All right, this is option 2. Already feeling like it looks a lot cleaner, although there's less kind of options to choose from. But it's kind of nice. Also seems to track your movement. Okay, and boom, that was it. Okay. Which one are we preferring? Option A or option B? I feel like option B, like it doesn't, like if we were to look at both of them, this one is, like this one cuts out here a little bit. And this one looks okay. Like visually, I feel like this one might look nicer. I actually forgot which one my app built. But this one's got like medium. Let's say we tried hard. Okay, hard, that's kind of cool. Easy, we could do it. Oh, this is cool. So you can do hint mode, new maze. Okay, and this generates a new maze every single time. That's actually really cool. So this one, you just have one maze. So I'm starting to think I think I know. Well, damn, we're 50-50 right now. I like B more. Okay. B has better UI. I think B has better UI as well. Okay. Moment of truth. I think I know. I've forgotten which one it is, but I think I know which one it is. Based off of the questions that I asked at the start. Okay, so this one is at the local host. Okay. There you go. All right, so Codex built A. So Codex built A, and then the Ace team built B. Okay? So one thing that I will say is at the very start when we were prompting, actually prompting for the mission, one thing you would have noticed is it asked us, do you want us to generate like multiple levels, or do you actually want us to just have the character go from A to B? And we said let's have the character go from A to B. So you can see it actually it simplified the final result because of what we asked. So now that's making me think like, okay, maybe we need to actually be a bit more careful with the questions that we're asking on the onboarding. And now I'm kind of curious, how would Claude do? So I'm not going to do another attempt. I'm going to say maze game 2, continue. I'm just going to say, I want to build a maze game on localhost. Actually, I'll use the exact same prompt that I used with Codex. And this time I want to see, they both look very similar, to be fair. This time I want to build a simple maze game. If I answer the questions differently, how that will make it look. But we seem pretty split, 50-50. So Ace hasn't won you guys over yet. That's super fair. It didn't win me over there either. So let's remove the guesswork. How should the maze game be built? Maybe like Node.js. What do you guys reckon? Plain HTML plus JavaScript, Node.js. Maybe we'll go plain HTML plus JavaScript. It will probably be faster. All right, what should the core gameplay feel like? So see how it's given me options here? Move through a maze with arrow keys, new random maze every game, multiple levels that get harder. So I think what we could do is have multiple choices here, and the user can pick multiple choice. So let me actually just add that real quick as a feature here. You can see the feature list is getting long now. Multiple choice selection on the onboarding questions. Because right now, you can see how we're limited to one question here. So, I mean, I'm just going to go custom and say, move through a maze with arrow keys, new random maze every game, race against a timer, and multiple levels that get harder. What would make the first version feel done to you? I can start play and reach the exit. It looks good, not functional. Tracks my score or time. Yeah, we can click that. All right, then I'll hit continue. And this time we'll use 3 again. We'll go 1 off, continue. And I think maybe what I'll do is I'll use Claude. Maybe we get Claude to build, actually. Let's try this. Let's go Claude build. Actually, we'll keep Codex to build because that's kind of how we're going to be able to see the difference. But yet, let's use Claude for one of these phases. Plan or research. Maybe use Claude for plan. Actually, we'll go research. And then we'll go Codex here. All right. Let's start this again. Let's see how we go. Make an option for all of the above. That's a good one. Oh, I need to authenticate. Oh, okay. I see what's happened. So when you connect Claude, it's going to authenticate, but then you have no way to authenticate. Okay. Let me fix that. In the onboarding, once you download the app for the first time, it prompts you to connect your Claude -P to the app. However, one thing you will notice is every couple of days, Claude will make you authenticate your access. However, in our app, there's no way for users to re-authenticate their Claude subscription once they've gone through the onboarding. So even though it says connected, we're still getting an error saying Claude not authenticated. And this affects the app because users can't use Claude anymore. So I think what would be good is in settings, it's saying the Claude CLI is active, but it's not authenticated. So if there's a way for us to understand and figure out whether the Claude is authenticated or not, and then basically users can either click the notification that pops up or come into the settings and re-authenticate their Claude access. Because I get this all the time when I'm using Claude inside of Conductor. It'll always ask me like every maybe 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna say. Did I add a screenshot? Yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean the UI is definitely nicer, but the functionality is way too basic, and that instantly means that the problem here that I find, and it's good that we did this, is Codex, because it had such a small prompt, it just came up with everything. Where in our one, because we ask all these additional questions, the prompt ends up being very strict and rigid. And it's like, no, if it's within it has to be within these guidelines, which actually removes, it's saying Claude's starting, but it's not actually working. Which actually removes a bit of that complexity. Needs better complexity understanding. Yeah, I agree. But I also think we can fix that by letting the user say all of the above. Like I think right now as a patch, simple fix would be users being able to pick multiple choice and all of the above. Also, yes, Jabbar, I did hear about that new model by Japan. I don't know if it's Fable equivalent though. I think, yeah, like Jmart said, just marketing tactic. Needs to be more dynamic and, more free and not have as much restrictions. It's interesting because I've noticed this can go both ways. If you give it too much freedom, it's a harness thing. Simplify it down to it's a harness thing. That's so funny. So honestly, I can see us literally all we do now on the live streams is we keep just comparing the two and then improving. And if we just do this over and over again, which is kind of like why I wanted to create the bench, is it'll help us make Ace better. So I'll leave those two running. I'll get rid of this. Let's simplify some of the stuff on here. Make the can we make it that I don't even think I created global error handler agent. Yeah, open PR. Actually, let me get a review. So I've also had a little bit of a think on how the bench could look. Doobie, if I were to connect my Claude subscription to your app, how would I find my subscription API so I don't have to use the API console? So basically when you're onboarding, go into this button right here, settings, and then click replay onboarding or tool setup guide. And this kind of walks you through it. So at the end, you can see here, this section, it's connecting through your Claude CLI. And if this doesn't connect, it's going to prompt you and say, hey, you need to do this. And then you run like a command in your terminal, and then that it gives you, and then it should just work. But it tries to find that like without, because it knows where it is. And so it tries to do it autonomously, because at the end of the day, this is an app for non-technical people. So it tries to find the subscription without you having to do anything. Obviously, that doesn't always work. But yeah, when it doesn't connect, it shows something else. While we're on that, let me also talk about Aubrey's issue. So at the very start of the stream, she said, I kept getting an error using the payment gateway timed out. Let's go. Multiple users having trouble with the payment gateway, specifically when they have to not connect with Google and connect through with their email. Getting an error saying the payment gateway timed out. There was also another user who sent me some screenshots. Let me just double check. I'll just say user comment, and then I'll just copy the screenshots. All right, let's see if we can fix this. Also, another thing improving would probably be the speed of how fast the final product comes out. That's definitely something we do need to improve. However, I'm just a bit cautious in speed. Like the way that I kind of visually look at it is like, let's focus on making the output good first, and then we can focus on trying to maintain that output while reducing speed. Right now, we're not in a, like, we can't tell if reducing the speed is going to reduce the output because we haven't really set up the system to measure everything yet. But yeah, totally agree with you, kill switch. The more data and outputs you get, the better you can train on this stuff. Need that benchmark twin, 100%. We're building it right now. So regarding the benchmark, do we have like a sort of dashboard we can view or visualize? Like how do we turn it on? How do we do things with it? Pretty basic prompt there, not gonna lie, for a super intelligent NTN being. A few findings here, we can just copy, paste. Claude real settings. Okay, so let's see what it said here. I fully diagnosed this. Here's what's actually happened and how I'd fix it. Root cause, connected is a false positive. The settings dot and the runtime gate use the same health check. For the default CLI account mode, what onboarding sets up, the relevant logic is only checks whether a credential exists. Okay, so it can just say connected if it sees a credential. This is a direct side effect of the recent optimization commit. Stop respawning CLI probes on every health pole. Reuse what's on disk. I think that might have been actually Vince's change. It correctly stopped per pole spawns, but it went too far. Presence of a file is now treated as proof of a valid session on your machine. Credentials live in the macOS keychain. Okay, so this is Ace Bench, I think. So obviously the score is way too high. Jesus Christ. It's like the biases in this is crazy. Okay, interesting. Okay, so the Ace Bench, it feels a bit too biased. Like, how could we possibly be at 100 out of 100 for everything when there's clearly a lot to improve? Like, the app's only just gone live. This makes me feel like the tasks it's providing are not really very challenging. Like, what is the actual metric? Is this it? Is this the metric? Oh, it passes a web artifact. It passes. So it's literally just saying, oh yeah, it gets a high score because it passed. It doesn't say like it gets a high score because of the actual output being good. So while this is completely useless, at least it tells us that things are working. I think we're going to need to completely redesign the Ace Bench. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so we have no idea what's going on here. We got another maze game with a broken Claude. Get back to that later. Maybe make a way for each user to use when using it to collect info of their experience and what their thoughts are and need improving as an option to make the app better. Yeah, true. I think you're right. At the moment, we have this... we have a feedback option in the settings right here, except it's hidden away in the settings. So maybe we can make this pop out once the user's been using it a little bit, asking for feedback. I think that's a good point. Get rid of one of these. Let's see what's happening here. Reauth settings. Okay, so how can we fix this? Want me to proceed with the implementation persistent banner plus open settings on click unless you say otherwise. Is there a way to check for Claude Auth when a user uses it for the first time? Because, you know, the app is now optimized, and the issue we're facing is that when the user used Claude in their system, it broke and a notification came up, but there was no way to reconnect. So what I kind of want in that moment is in that notification, the user can press one of the buttons there that says authenticate or something. So it's not just a notification that does nothing and tells the user that things are broken. If the notification actually tells the user something's broken and then the user can press a button to fix it, then all of a sudden we now have a solution to the problem. But yeah, on clicking the notification, it can also open to the settings. That works as well. I don't think we need to constantly poll for it, but the moment that Claude is being used, we're instantly going to know whether or not it's authenticated. And in that moment, we need to make sure we're directing the user to the solution. Wait, that was me. I made a task to double check MacSide. I thought I left it in dev. The issue is it doesn't have something to compare against, like what is considered good. Conductor does use Git work trees, yes. What up, Mark? How we doing, brother? That was you, J-Mart? Yeah, weird. I think the priority is fixing that payment gateway because there's obviously something wrong. Let's see what it's saying. Okay. I have a clear architectural understanding. The real blocker isn't the payment gateway, it's the email confirmation link. The screenshot means Supabase rejected the magic link. The hosted sign up uses with a PKCE client inside an iframe, and the email landed in the user's junk folder, a combination that's notorious for failing. Payment gateway timed out is almost certainly the user's paraphrase of never getting past auth to reach Stripe. Lifetime deal equals entered at checkout. Note is currently false. And the code comment says the coupon itself was removed manually. So onboarding this user may require rechecking, recreating that Stripe coupon. Okay, so what's going on there? The workflow. OTP _ expired on the email confirmation magic link, not Google, and the sign up uses Supabase. Sign in with OTP with a PKCE client inside an iframe. This is rich multi-factor production bug touching the hosted website plus Supabase config plus checkout. Given the stakes, a real paying user, multiple affected, a run through multi-lens. Okay, nice. Wait, does Conductor use? Yes, it does. Wait, does Claude auto merge all work trees so it's into one for production release? I think it does. Yes. I've been working on my app for like 30 minutes, or you can always just prompt it to as well. Trying to fix a sign-in issue, bro. Goddamn sign-in issues, man. They get you, man. They get you when you least expect it. Probably put that in bugs to fix, but is it possible add a additional option in the onboarding where there is a all of the above option? Because I'll notice that the questions, it might ask me a question, but then I want to pick multiple things. Like for example, what features would you like to add? And then it says multiple features, except it only lets me pick one of them. So if we could add a all of the above option, only when necessary for the right questions, that would be good. And I think this will just come down to prompting the AI properly so that when it's asking those questions, it knows like, oh, if this is a question that could have multiple correct answers, then maybe we go all of the above. Where on the other hand, if the question was like, where do you want to deploy this? And it gives you a bunch of options, you would only really need to pick one option there. I think that's actually a huge issue with our app. Is it worth to get Conductor? Conductor is free, bro. If I had Mac, Conductor is the only thing I would use. I wish it was ported to Windows. What do you use, Jmart? Do you use Cursor? I mean, people say Cursor's good. Like, I don't know. Some people think Conductor's shit. I see people coming on the live streams and they're like shitting on Conductor. They're like, yo, why are you using Conductor, bro? That's dog shit. And I'm like, bro, it's so good though. Man, got so many freaking tabs open right now. What else can we work on? Global error handler. Let's go another review. The end of the 30% sale is done. See, this is what I'm talking about. We need this option right here. Authentication required. To resolve, sign into Claude. Conductor will validate the login automatically. This is what we need for our app right now. And you literally just press this button and the auth pops up. And then you authorize. Okay. Was that anywhere else? I think I saw it here somewhere. No. I use Codex app and Claude app separately. Is that bad? I mean, that's exactly what I'm trying to fix with Ace, man. Is have them talk to each other. I think, yeah, I'm just trying to think once we can get the harness good. Okay. Why is everything 100? The hard checks are pinned to what the harness already does when the mission was authorized. It's 100 whenever the contract has at least one deliverable and at least one acceptance criteria. Okay, I think what we could do is we should have a screen and it shows visually the output. And what I kind of mean by this is we on the left hand side we have Claude or Codex's outputs alone, what they can do by themselves. And then on the right hand side, we have Ace's output when you connect Claude and Codex together. And if we can just make this a simple one pager where you can scroll and it's connected to the other kind of outputs. I might even need to visually just mock this up. Where it's kind of like this. So this is the landing page. And then this is just like this. And then we have like a really small option here. And we can, this will help us compare quickly. Kind of what we're doing now, but in a much faster rate. And we just have multiple of them. Is that making sense? Is this hidden for you guys? Maybe we just do like that. And it's literally like this. And then you come in here and you've got like little dots here. And then you've got ace here. And then you've got little, like, this is like what the prompt was. Actually, the prompt should probably go in the middle here. And then this way, I feel like we're able to move way faster. Prompt. And this is going to come to taste. And there's going to be a bit of subjectivity in here. But ace output. And this is going to be Claude / Codex output. Toggle between. Okay. This is kind of how I see the bench looking. And then this way we're able to see, okay, this is what Aces looks like on the right, and this is what Claude and Codexes looks like. So for example, the maze game that we just did, we could have done that. And then this will help us quickly visualize, okay, we can fix here, we can fix here, we can fix here. All right. I've shared a super rough kind of example where on the left-hand side, you've got the single output of just one agent working on it, whether it's Claude or Codex. And you can switch between the two with these two little dots at the bottom, kind of like a carousel. And then on the right-hand side, you've got the ace output, and you can see what that looks like. And I think clicking on the preview window will actually open it in another tab and actually let you like use the app. So if it was like a simple maze game, for example, you could actually use the simple maze game. And below it shows like what the prompt that was used. And this is a really good way for us to visualize and see how to fix ace. It's basically what I'm already doing manually, but at scale. Let's see what it says. Okay, so what's the fix? What's actually happening, and no, it's not on the user's side. The payment gateway timed out is a red herring that your users never reached the payment gateway. They blocked one step earlier at email sign up. Yo, if Aubrey's in the chat, please verify if this is real. They're blocked one step earlier at email sign up. The screenshot proves that the URL is, that's Superbase rejecting the email confirmation link, not Stripe timing out. Around a 6 land, the email magic link gets burned before the user clicks. Calls, which sends a single use. The sign up page is blind to the error, so there's zero recovery. Worth a 30-second check. The email redirects to sign up plan, but only is documented in your Superbase redirect allow list. If your sign up isn't allow listed, Superbase returns access denied for 100% of email signups. Check URL confirmation first. I mean, we know it works, so we don't need to do that. To onboard Alan today, these need to your dashboard logins. I can't do them. Grant endpoint in the code, so this is manual. Get him signed in, bypass the broken email pipeline, Superbase dashboard project. Give him the deal, fastest comp, the fix in the right channel. I fixed it, but when you signed in, the session token wouldn't be accepted by the server, but it's fixed. Switch hosted email, sign up to a type 6 so prefetch can't consume it. Code changes now on a branch of dev and verifying a browser. I have not touched anything yet because deploying to the live website and modifying rule. Please implement these changes and verify everything. We can merge to main to push changes live. What else is done? Global error handling agent. Yeah, that's regarding the errors looking really lame. Onboarding duplicate question. Okay, what's happening here? Done. Here's what I built and one honest caveat. What I changed. The whole thing hinges on one constraint. I confirmed first the saved answer only keeps the chosen label and the build reads it as. So literal all of the above would reach the build as a meaningless string. I made it lossless instead. 3 small coordinated pieces. Prompting. Added 2 rules to the question generation prompt. When a question is one where several answers can all be true at once, which features to include, what sections, kind of content, where to share. The AI adds a final option. Explicitly never add it to single choice questions. A cap safe helper. Questions are capped at 4 options without care. And all of the above added as a 5th option would get silently dropped. Keeps up to 3 concrete options plus the select all one always last. Okay, that's fair. All right, rather than giving an all of the above option then, why don't we give users the option to just pick multiple? So right now what happens is when I click one, it automatically moves to the next question. And it doesn't give me the option to pick multiple. And this can be a bit annoying because what if the user did want to pick multiple and not all of the above? So what if the user only wanted to pick 2 features out of the 4? So what we could do is for these multiple choice options, we just make it so that the user can pick multiple things and then hit the continue button when done. When you sign up with Google, you get the auth/callback, which is already set in Supabase, but email signups probably go to that sign up endpoint, which stated it wasn't allow listed. Okay, so it's a pretty easy fix then. Also, please give me the URL to allow list on Supabase. What's this saying? This is a different and honestly better idea than tuning the structural score, and the mockup makes it click. Let me play it back so you know I've got it, then map how we build it. What you're describing is a side-by-side output gallery, same prompt, single agent alone versus ACE, the agent's connected, with real artifacts you can open and use. 2 different important things about this. This is the output quality eval. It's literally your manual process at scale. How it splits into buildable versus hard. Buildable now, part B, actually generating the outputs, the heavy part. For each prompt, you have to really run Claude alone, Codex alone, and ACE both connected, and capture each build artifact that needs the ACE entry point wired up we keep hitting. The split matters because A makes the vision real today. B is the, okay. Let's build A and B. Okay, so for super-based authentication, URL confirmation, redirect URL, allow list, add. Okay. The suffix matches their existing convention. So I have to add that, and covers every query string variant that email link redirects to. So do you want me to add with the suffixes? I'm confused. Barden about to hit his usually weekly limit on the Claude Plus plan, Codex Plus plan. Bro, I feel you. Yes, add it. It's safe and additive. Okay. Let me do that right now. I believe this is inside of authentication. So it's build / sign up. It looks like we already have that. It looks like we already have that redirect URL. Is it literally the -- that we need to add? Is that it? So it accepts anything following the asterisk rather than a specific. Okay, gotcha. All right, bet. So literally the reason it didn't work was because of those two dashes. You serious, man? Good catch, and that screenshot is actually the smoking gun that settles the root cause. Look at what it proves. It's already in the allow list, so no, you don't need to add the suffix. Skip it. Here's why this is more than already there. It confirms the diagnosis. User landed on Supabase only redirects to that URL after it has validated the redirect target against the exact allow list. If the allow list were the problem, the user would never see /signup with that error. They'd get a redirect URL not allowed error or get bounced to your site URL instead. The fact that the direct succeeded and carried means the redirect URL passed validation. The token itself was expired or already consumed. This definitely rules out the allow list rank 3 and confirms rank 1. The magic link token is being burned by spam, prefetch, or expiring before the user clicks. Exactly what the code fix targets. The two Supabase side items that do matter: raise the email OTP link expiry toward the max, so a junked email doesn't expire first. OTP expiry. Custom on, so confirmation mail stops landing in junk, which is where the prefetch scanners live. Needs in it. I'll give you the exact template text when the code is ready. Raise the email OTP. Man, that was make this shit so confusing. Token request, rate limit for token verification. Sessions, refresh token reuse interval, detect and revoke potentially compromised refresh tokens. Maybe let me ask. Weird. Where in Oz you based? I'm based in Sydney. Henry? We've already got SMTP set up through Cloudflare. Could you... raise the email OTP? Just gonna close these for now. Too many tabs. To raise the expiry verification email, you can set the URL lifetime field. Superbase go to auth, provider's email. Emails. Okay, let's try sign in providers. Allow new users to sign in. Allow manual linking. Sign in providers. I'm just going to send a bunch of screenshots of the Superbase settings. Magic link. Here are a bunch of screenshots from the Superbase settings that I have. Let me know if this helps. Project settings, authentication. It goes to yeah, let me see if this works. I think we're getting to the problem. Even a rule can hit junk. DMARC aligned. Is custom SMTP actually enabled inside Superbase authors? I thought I connected resend. Pretty sure I did connect resend. $3,600 seconds is 60 minutes. Okay. Are the most useful evidence yet? Let me ground one implementation detail against the actual Superbase library version before I finalize the code. Superbase email sign in checkout not working. Token expiry. Token error. This one. One-time password verification, understanding the errors, 403 forbidden. Okay. This is what I'm getting. OTP expired error. This is a specific error message reported by the authentication service, explicitly stating that the provider OTP token has passed its validity period and can no longer be used. Like token has expired or is invalid, or email link is invalid or has expired, also fall under the category of token validity issues. The root cause. The most common reason for OTP tokens appearing expired or invalid before a user can even use them is email prefetching. Email prefetching is a mechanism used by email clients or security tools to automatically scan and sometimes access URLs are embedded in emails. This is often done to check the malicious links, render content faster. I understand. Or provide advanced security features. How security tools, okay. Troubleshooting and identifying the problem. Review email templates. Carefully inspect your password reset email templates. Identify if they contain confirmation URLs that, when accessed, might implicitly validate or invalidate an OTP token. Okay, so check authentication logs, cross-reference the API log entries with your authentication logs, correlate by time and IP, use timestamps and if available IP addresses for both API and authentication logs. Shortly after an email is sent, but before a user could reasonably click the link, it strongly suggests prefetching. Confirm verification method. Ensure your application uses the intended OTP verification method, such as Superbase auth verify recovery for password resets. While it's understood that the recovery type is correct for password resets, the issue primarily stems from the initial link access rather than the final verification call. Resolving the issue. Addressing this problem typically involves adjusting how your application interacts with email and how tokens are handled. Review email template. Carefully inspect your password reset email template. Identify if they contain. Okay. Implement prefetching bypass mitigation. Consult email service documentation. Refer the documentation for your email service provider or any integrated security tools. Many services offer methods to prevent or mitigate automated fetching, such as specific HTML attributes, e.g., or email headers that signal security scanners not to follow links. Delay token invalidation. Consider if your system can be configured to invalidate the OTP token only after a user explicitly submits it, rather than upon initial access of a confirmation URL. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Superbase auth. Allow confirm. So I think I know the problem, and I think I know how to fix it. Damn, I'm spending a lot of time on this. Apologies, guys. Magic link or OTP. Ask users to verify the no method link. Notify users when a sign-in method has been linked to their account. For a number change, sign method removed. MFA method added. This is a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. Wait, Superbase says email now? Well, I've connected resend to Superbase. So it's a bit complicated. Reads the OTP expired error from the URL and shows a recovery message. Replace the magic sender with code send /verify/resend handlers. This is the 3 things are now confirmed, and one of them changes the implementation in an important way. Confirm email is on, so brand new email users must confirm before they can sign in. That's why Alan got a confirm your email sign. The email template contains only a clickable link, no 6-digit code. Screenshot 3 even says this link expires shortly and can only be used once. That single link use link is exactly what spam security scanners prefetch and burn. The allow list is fine, already established. Let me implement the hosted web code change now. First, let me set up a working branch. So is this saying that it's going from click a link to, let me reread it, to just providing a code? I think that is what we're going, because Superbase email auth says set up custom SMTP. You're using the built-in email service. This service has rate limits and is not meant to be used for production apps. Learn more. LMAO. Lol. So true. That's a good point. Hey, not meant for production. Okay. But I'm using resend, so I thought we kind of went past that. Resend API. That's what I'm using. I'm using the resend API right now. I'm just trying to understand if it's a Superbase thing or a resend thing. Because I'm using resend. We've got resend hooked up. Also, let me verify there are no syntax errors in the Babel. Well, if you connect it to Superbase, then it's using Superbase stuff. Okay. God, this is confusing, man. This is what I was telling you guys about emails at the start. Yo, capturing the third, what's up? I haven't seen you in a hot minute, bro. Hope you're doing well. First time I caught the live, keep rocking. Thanks, Cheggy, bro. Appreciate you. Dude. Freaking emails, man. They're actually such a pain in the ass. Let me open up chat. So the issue, if we just did a 6-digit code, that would work, right? Let me ask chat. So the issue with our app currently is we have 2 options to sign in. Continue with Google or sign in with email. And so when users click sign in with email, we send them a confirmation link and then they can click it and then they're logged into our app and they can continue with the payment. However, users are currently facing an error once they click the confirmation email. And so we're thinking that this might be due to prefetching, where the email clicks on the link and scans it for security beforehand, and this actually invalidates the token use. And so I'm just wondering, is it possible to switch? We're using Resend, by the way, and Resend is connected to Supabase. So we're trying to figure out if this is a Supabase problem or a Resend problem. And I'm just wondering, to eliminate all of the issues, could we just give the user a 6-digit code and they then sign in through the 6-digit code? Is that possible? Is this supported within Supabase and Resend, or do we have to do it through this email confirmation method? So we can use, I think we can. Use a 6-digit email code instead. Supabase supports this natively. You do not need to build your own OTP system, and Resend can still be your email sender. This is mainly a Supabase Auth Magic Link single-use token issue, not a Resend issue. Subase's own docs say some email providers' security tools prefetch links, which can consume the cause token expired or invalid. The recommended fix is exactly what you suggest. Okay. Cool. So instead of using the confirmation email system, can we use the .token method where we provide a 6-digit email code instead and the user signs in through that method? I think that'll just save a lot of headache. Do you get loans interest-free in Australia? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I've never really gotten a loan before, so. LMAO, signed up through email, clicked confirmation link in my email, and it logged me in. Send me a Stripe promo code for 100 off so I can full test. All right, we'll do. We'll do, Jmart. One sec. I think some emails might not work. Like if they're using Outlook or something, maybe like the email is different. And so maybe we just avoid that entirely by just doing this method. Oh, cool. That's exactly the approach I've been implementing. Okay. Both parts verified end-to-end in the real in-browser Babel runtime. In this one. Nice. Okay, enter the 6-digit code we emailed to check your spam or junk folder if it is not in your inbox. Token has expired or is invalid. Code tried type email, then fell back to sign up. Both calls recorded showed token has expired or is invalid and kept the user on the code step to retry. The defensive fallback works exactly as designed. Let me clean up the throwaway test harness so it never ships and stop the server. Cool. Man, emails are such a pain in the ass, dude. Far out. They're actually so annoying. Like, oh, dude. Remind me never to do that again. Far out. I have to do through token. Okay. Look, it's done. Let's see. All right, yes, that's exactly what I built, and the full flow is now verified working. Here's the status and the one piece that's on your side. What's done? Code verified in the real in-browser Babel runtime. The hosted sign-up no longer depends on a clickable link. The flow is now enter email, sign in with OTP, sends a code, user types the 6-digit code, signs them in, straight to checkout. I drove all 3 paths in a mocked harness, no production auth touched. What only you can do, the .token template change. The 6-digit code only appears in the email if the template prints. Right now, both templates print only the link because confirm email is on. Your sign-in code, enter the 6-digit magic link or OTP. So like confirm your email address. Okay. Keep the link or go code only. We want to do code only. So walk me through the exact step-by-step I got to do on Supabase to set everything up. Yeah, I think Google's fine. I think it's when it's outside of Google. So I know Aubrey's saying that she can't use Google because of her work, something to do with pharmacies and government work. They don't let you use Google for some reason. So I think the issue is when Google is not used. Okay. Well, we got there in the end, didn't we? Done. I replaced all of the above approach with true multi-select, which is what you actually wanted. True, only when several options can genuinely all apply. I removed the noun unnecessary. Okay, cool. Review. Is reviewed in green, still not committed or pushed. Get one more review on this. Claude reauth settings. Review on this. Okay, we got 4 agents running right now. how's this going? So multi-bench did come out. I don't know if you guys saw, it's this one right here. So the same prompt, 2 ways, left is a single agent. So I'm assuming this is kind of where we need an MCP. Honest. Oh, nice. Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is what Claude built. And then you can go down, gym landing page, to do app. And then you can see what, okay, cool. Okay, this is a good start. One thing I want to verify is that the Codex preview isn't generated. The ACE preview isn't generated. So we need to set that up properly. You have access to the private repo for ACE called Multi-Agent. It's a good start. The other thing worth noting is like, yeah, it's a good start. We'll leave it there. This is gonna burn so many tokens when I do this. But the bench is coming along. Maybe we run it through Claude design if we want to make it look nicer. And I can make the link kind of public so everyone can see when new models come out, we test it. Would be good. Design tokens and semantic error color. I'm going to run the focus CLI auth. Okay. Email sign up payment timeout. Dependencies are in. Now the link gate on the change files, then the full build. Okay, I'll let that go. Full build. I think this is still working. Man, that's so annoying. I wonder how many users were unable to purchase this subscription due to this issue. Because we had a lot of people that went through the checkout but didn't actually convert to a paying user. So I'm assuming it's more than a few. Yeah, I've noticed the issue seems to happen. Every single paying user has a Gmail account. So this tells me payments work perfectly fine with Gmail. And not when they're not Gmail, which would not be right, because if people are paying for their business, yeah, every single issue seems to be a not email account, a not Gmail account. Okay. So this should fix that. I actually haven't tried the new GLM yet. Everyone's hyping it up like crazy though. which is the heavier one. Well, the thing is that's hard to tell because Gmails could use the Google Auth or email sign up. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I mean, but you just went through the full flow and you said it was fine. So I've got users here who are using Proton, Mocala, oh, that's someone's URL. Outlook. I've got a bunch of ones. Yeah, it's true. It's not. Yeah, it is it is weird that every single one that didn't pay happens to not have a Gmail account though. Not every single one, but a few. Throwaway harness removed. Let me update the project memory to reflect the implemented approach. What's going on here? Big unlock. All 3 CLIs are actually authed. The only stop was a trusted directory flag, not auth, and Gemini shows for individuals. Also just needs a trust flag. That's the proven invocation. Okay, here we go. Code completed and verified. 4 files changed. Nice. Verification. What's left in order? The Superbase dashboard works from my previous message. Rewrite both templates to raise OTP expiry, confirm custom SMTP, use the transitional, keep the link to version until step 3, commit and open the PR. Together, one real email sign-up test on the dev preview deploy. Okay. The Superbase dashboard work from my previous message. Walk me through step 1, step by step, with the exact messages to paste in. GPT is being very stupid for Gibbity. Gibbity is being very stupid for me right now. Gibbity. Dude, 5.6 has got to come out soon, right? Like, we've been waiting a hot minute for that. I thought it would come out by now. Merge them all to dev. Man, if I just copied this into ChatGPT, it would give me a way faster response. Okay, here we go. Rewrite the confirm sign up template. Okay. So many freaking. All right. So confirm your email address. Subject should be your ACE confirmation code. And then we're going to say body, paste to replace everything. So confirm your email for ACE. Enter this 6-digit code on the ACE sign up screen to confirm your email and finish signing up. Or if you start on this device, you can instead. Code expires soon. If you did not create an account, you can ignore this email. I think we can remove this, but let's just do it the way that it wants it. Click save, rewrite the magic template link. Save. Go back to emails, magic link. So your ACE sign-in code. And then body paste. Save changes. Set the OTP length and expiry. It's already at that. OTP length 6. OTP length 6. Port interval per user 60. Click save. If you don't see these fields under the provider, they're under authentication settings in one dashboard version. Okay, let me just do this so I don't leak anything. So project settings, authentication, SMTP settings. Email OTP length is now 6. And then save. Okay, I think we're good. Confirm custom SMTP is actually on. Go to project settings, authentication, SMTP, enable custom must be toggled on. So email, SMTP. Yep. Sanity check it right now. Optional but recommend. You can verify deliverability and rendering before any code shifts because today's live site already triggers these templates. Enter an email address you control. Okay, let's give it a quick. Let's give this a quick. See this works. Vince, how we doing? Bro, it was good, bro. My birthday was good. Sorry, I haven't checked the chat in a minute. Yo, CMT thinks my videos are good. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, Vince, I'm doing well, bro. We're just fixing the email sign up because we got a problem with it. I'm going to sign out. Continue with email instead. Let's see if this works. Check your email for an, okay. So I press send link and let me just verify. Your signing code, and it gave me a code. Nice. Okay, cool. I just did a sanity check. I pressed the continue with email, sent, pasted my email, sent link, and it gave me a signing code on my email. I'm assuming once we ship the code, it should actually show the code input section on the sign-in page. So let's go ahead and merge to main. Also, when we're merging to main, can you do the whole step for come back to one A and B and delete the single line from each template? Oh wait, I have to do that. Never mind. Okay. Let me do that now. Unnecessary step. Okay. Geez, that took like a whole 2 hours to figure out. God damn it. CMT Soul, appreciate the kind words, bro. Bottom's locking in. Good luck. Man, this email sign up shit, man, it's so complicated. I guess once you get it though, it's just one of those things that you just keep in your head for next time where you're like, oh, when I do email signups, I gotta make sure that I send them a code instead of a link because this shit happens. Like it's all just learning, right? It's interesting how like the AI doesn't even think of that. Like that's like the step where the human needs to come in and be like, oh, we need to make sure to do this, otherwise this is gonna happen. The AI doesn't think that far. Committed. Now let me check what's on dev versus main. So a release doesn't sweep in unrelated held back work and confirm my branch is clean against main. 7D site is working. You got a real 6-digit code in your inbox. You're right. The one, so the code ships. The sign-in page shows the code input section before I merge to production. Let me commit and check one thing about the release part so I don't accidentally overship. All right. Yo, we might actually get this shit fixed, man. Let's go. It takes what you say as a factual thing rather than verifying it. Yeah. Maybe we need to make a skill that verifies. Man. So annoying, man. So that's 2 people that have told me that this has been a problem. Like, not even considering all the people that it was a problem for that didn't even reach out about it. Okay. AI takes a stupid amount of time to finish one task. Lol. Also a question, are you on Whisper Flow Pro plan or are you on the free? I'm on the Pro plan right now. You just can use it unlimited amount, which is good. So you can have this stuff logged to verify. Okay, we got production workflows are running on main. Deploy Ace Cloudflare site, publish dual code runtime, and test. Let me watch the Cloudflare deploy through to completion. All right, once this is completed, we're gonna try this again. Hopefully this time it works. Oh, wait. Succeeded. Now let me confirm the runtime published, finished, and verify. Now server the new code entry flow confirmed. The hosted fix is live. All right, let's test this out. Let's give this a refresh. To redirect, so code didn't capture the body. Let me follow it and confirm the served HTML references a new bundle version. Okay, email me a code. Sending. Okay. Nice. So far so good. Dude, emails are a pain in the ass. That is what I've learned this live stream. Emails are a pain. And we are in. Cool. Everything works out. Perfect. Nice. Success. Ladies and gentlemen, we solved the problem. This is a huge fix. Aubrey, if you're watching, if you've left, it's fixed. I hope everything is solved now. It should work now. This should work now, okay? Like we've fixed the inherent problem, which was the link. Now they just used, oh, this is way better. Because it doesn't require them to have a specific email. They just type in the code and the app handles everything. So much better. I understand why a lot of places do this now. Why they send you a code instead of an email link makes a lot more sense once you build the system yourself. Okay to add and okay to spend, both are fine. Go. Both halves are verified live. Let's freaking go. Okay. It keeps referencing Alan. He can now complete sign up with the normal way. If you'd still rather just hand him the lifetime deal, the fast path is adding his email to dual code free access emails on the worker or creating his Stripe sub with coupon. That closes out the original report. Let's go. You can verify it now. It's already verified. After you confirm that it works, finish the code only switch, go to back to Subase. We've done everything here. Let's go archive this motherfucker. Sick. God damn it, man. That was a big update. Let's try the in-app. I think I need to open and close it. So let me do that. Let me restart the app. Let's see if it works in the app. Email me a code. Perfect. So if I was to go like this, Sends me an email. Boom. Clean. Very, very clean. That's way better. That's way smoother than what we originally had. Okay, cool. What Mac do you use? I have a MacBook Pro. I've been doing this thing where I find informative videos on YouTube, like about SEO and meta ads. I made a app to get transcript from vid, then feed to AI and have discussion on it. LMAO. Clean AF. Let's go. Yo, Jmart, we can, you can do that within Ace, right? The Ace automatically transcribes like anything that you give it. So if you were to give it like a link, for example, I could give it like a literal random YouTube video. You could literally just paste it in here and it verifies the video, boom, and then it transcribes it automatically. And then you can actually just attach this as context. So you can see the transcription right here. And you can scroll through and see everything that I say in the video. And then you can just connect it as context to one of the agents if you want. Like, okay, boom. Now the agent knows about Claude AI tutorial, write like a pro. Are you going to start using Ace and then uninstall Conductor? So you just really use Ace to Vibecode Ace? Yes, that is the goal. That's the goal. That's what I want to do. But there's a lot of things that we need to fix before we can get to Ace being my daily driver. Wait, Fire, you should do a short video showing this? Yeah. After this live stream, I need to do like a big content plan for Ace. I think that'll be good. For sure. So inside of dev, let me just open up dev. We fixed a couple of things regarding onboarding. Yeah, should work now. Multiple choice questions on onboarding should work. So let's just verify that real quick. This is interesting. I like this little dot when you minimize. Kind of cool. Continue with Google. Still works. Let's verify that. Yep, sure does. Cool. Wait, Fire? Yeah, I should be more vocal about these little features. Let me close this one, leave this one. So if I was to build, I'll just say, technology radar app. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas. I want to build an app that rates my tech. You know what could be cool? And I'm feeling lucky button. You press it and it randomly generates an idea. I honestly think that Ace is definitely going to be probably the biggest product that ever exists for vibe coding. As soon as it comes to Windows, I will be trying it out and probably start using it. For some reason, I'm getting unlimited words on the free plan, which makes no sense for Whisperflow. Yo, Barton, Ace is already live on Windows, bro. You can thank Jmart for that, but we basically we've got a live app for Windows. Yeah, thank Jmart, please. Because he kind of made it all work. But you can see right in the download page, Windows is right here. Boom. What kind of tech are you rating and what goes into the rating? The gadgets. So it's still not letting me do multiple choice. The gadgets or devices I own. What should the app give you after it rates something? Okay, no, it does. It does give me a multiple choice. Okay, cool. Nice. So this one, yeah, so this one isn't multiple choice. Cool. Where do you want to use this app? On my Mac? What does the finished great result look like? Ready to use right away. Okay, cool. So there are multiple choices available. And then you would just scroll down and hit continue. One thing worth noting is the scrolling thing is a bit annoying. But all in all, it's good. I think we can merge this to main. Merge to main. This is reauth detect expired. Okay, so let's continue. Let's set up a team with Claude. One off, continue. Let's replace Gemini with Codex. And now it should tell me that the Claude authentication isn't working. So let me take a screenshot. Should pop up any second. GitHub repository created. That's a good sign. I'm noticing there's a lot of notifications that pop up. Maybe we could reduce that. Claude is currently doing something, which is weird. I'll let this run for a little bit. But we should be seeing something pop up. Or not. Connected tools. It's saying Claude is connected. We'll let this run for a sec. Your revenue, 47,000. That real or LARP? Complete LARP, bro. Yeah, J-Mart right, bro. Complete LARP. I've lost my rank. Damn, rip. Yeah, who's first right now? Don't know who's got the first badge. But okay, so we didn't even end up getting the Claude auth. How long do I need to wait? Is it gonna pop up? I'll give it another 30 seconds. See, it says starting, but it's not starting. That's the thing. Please review the technology radar app inside of Ace Dev. I set up a Claude instance and it's saying it's running, but I haven't authenticated Claude yet. So I don't think it actually is running. No notification really popped up. I look in settings and it still says Claude's connected fine. So it doesn't look like any of the changes actually had any effect. You should use OpenRouter and then start charging people if they would like to. They don't have to bring their own key. They can use Claude with yours and have usage limits of yours. I mean, that's true. This is true. It's true. I think we could definitely move to supporting that as an option, where maybe there's a second tier. One's like bring your own keys, and then you can pay a bit more to then use just our keys. New bug tracked in linear, but when you're doing project setup, if you click outside the setup box at any point, it takes you back to home screen. Not sure if Windows only. Yes. I've definitely experienced this before. Jmart, 100%. That is an issue. I think we need to definitely fix that. Yeah. So Jmar, am I allowed to share linear on screen? Like I'm not like leaking any keys or anything, am I, if I do that? Maybe you can help me walk me through linear a little bit if you're free. Cool, merge domain. Global error handler not working. It could also be this. It could be due to the error handler, so it's hard to tell. So let me actually just double check. Just want to verify that the changes made are not clashing and conflicting with the changes made in this regarding the Claude OAuth. You can show it or stuck in a loop more so. That should be bad because when doing the prompt stuff, it could actually run forever. That's true. Good point. That's a good point, actually. That could be really bad. I didn't think of that. That's the wrong one. I think you sent me a link. Let me double check. Yo, did you send me a link, Jay? Or is it literally just, I just search up linear? Oh, it keeps coming up the wrong thing, linear. And then it's on here. Get rid of a bunch of stuff. It's telling me to log in. Hey, it's got the exact same thing as me. Continue with Google. Good question. Both changes are on devs now, so Clash would ship. The running Ace dev server after new runtime bundle was written at. So the live app is running the new runtime. Expired plus. My GitHub flavored auth. Okay, so. Now can I use this? Says you have not yet joined. Join. Yo, linear's kind of cool. Okay, so issues. Windows port. Okay. Clicking outside the box. Repro, start a new project and give a prompt which enters the project's setup flow. The setup flow is dismissed and the app drops to the home screen. So are you writing this, Jmart, or does your AI generate this? Oh, cool. Performance and rendering, features and growth, Windows port. Yo, this is kind of sick. So it's like a task dashboard. Okay. And so how does this connect to your project, or is this just purely like a task dashboard? Is this all linear is? It's directly connected to linear. Oh, dude, that's dope. That's really cool. Man, this is really cool. Okay, I see. On Windows, 3 console windows flash on app open and 3 on clicking new project. So are you just running a loop that's like finding bugs, Jay? Or you can connect GitHub repo to it as well, yeah? That's sick. And you kind of just run through and just like fix these. And then this is Claude finding the root cause and fixing it as well. Interesting. Really interesting. In progress to do. Single source of truth for model source label, color logo. Okay. Interesting. I have a full CLI for linear, mainly talk to agents from linear now. I ran one initially and it found all these, click all issues to I left LMAO. So how do you like use the agents from linear? Is this basically just a damn dude, holy shit, you fixed a bunch of shit, Jmart. Oh my god. Okay. So you connect through the CLI to this, and anything that your agent reports comes here. So linear is kind of a harness in a way, right? Yeah. Click all the issues top left, LMAO, far out. That's a lot of dry stuff. Don't repeat yourself, i.e. recreating things you have already created. It's a custom system I built. Vince, you built linear, or you connected to linear, because so do they not support that function? I'm about to go crazy in linear, watch out, lol. What, through this? Damn, man, linear is cool. I can totally see, I didn't fully understand what linear was, but now I can totally understand why you would want to use it. It just keeps everything organized. But the reason you're not seeing anything is that Claude is genuinely authenticated on this Mac right now, so there's correctly nothing to warn about. Okay. So Claude actually did generate a response. Cool. So we're good. So settings shown, connected, no notification is the correct behavior here. Nothing is broken to report. Okay, cool. I think it's fine then. Your actual question, no clash, slide case to the reconnect dialog. But I found a real bug my change introduced. The branch still does for provider errors that aren't the Claude account reconnect case. Codex auth. Okay. My GitHub auth rule matches their generic auth key. Okay, so I think what we could add in settings is users could connect auto open router, and then through open router they can use whatever model they want. I think that could be kind of cool. Linear is just a pretty task dashboard, existed before the AI boom. I didn't build linear. I connected linear connection in Claude Code app. Did I wish I built linear? I have a custom agent runner that allows me to assign issues to agents, spin agents up and down from linear and manage it all there. Works a charm. That's really interesting because I was actually thinking, see this mission contract up here? What I kind of want to build and implement is right now we have 3 agents, right? But there's no actual method to talk to each one individually and assign tasks individually. So what I kind of wanted to build with the whole contract here is that you can click it and it expands into this massive Kanban board. Kind of like in linear, except this isn't really a Kanban board. And you get to see like, okay, this agent controls this section this agent controls this section, this agent controls this section, and you can put tasks into each section. That's kind of what I want to develop with the mission contract. So that's kind of why it's here in the corner. I'm just trying to wonder if that's overkill for the app. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of redesign needed inside of Ace to make it the daily driver. I'm just trying to understand the best method. But we got the Radar live. I'm wondering if the Radar, it all kind of has that Codex feel to it. And I'm thinking that's just because it's Codex building it. So I wonder if, I mean, that's kind of cool. Tech Radar app. So we might need to explore how we can make it look different, the outputs. LMAO half is like Windows based, on the rest are performance and optimized based tasks. I think that is a decent idea. Long-term goal? Yes, long-term goal. I think first step is to create a bench and harness, obviously after fixing all the bugs, and making the output really good. Because right now, if you were watching at the start of the live stream, we did a test and everyone in the chat was split 50-50. They thought Ace's output was better, or they thought the Codex output by itself was better. They were literally split 50-50. So the goal is, can we get that 50-50 closer to like 80, 90? Because then we actually have an app that people are thinking, damn, the output's way better, you know? And then that's when we can actually start showing before and afters. Because before and afters is how you sell this thing, right? Right now, we're literally telling people, come try out our app. And yeah, it's going to be way more complicated than if you just talk to Claude. And no, the output might not be actually the best output possible. So we need to get to a point where it's like, yeah, come check out our app. It's a bit more complicated, but you can do way more, and the output is night and day difference. Like that's a way better selling pitch than what we have right now. Quit and reopen, sure. Ace bench is still not loading fully. Okay, 50 minutes build on it. Okay. Cool. Oh, good here. No clash. Okay, cool. Sick. All right, dope AF. I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. I want to get into the marketing side of Ace, and I mean, just from personal experience, I've just noticed that if I do the marketing off stream and then share the results on stream and just like kind of walk you through the finished output, that tends to be more what you guys are after than like me just spending an hour writing a script, for example. You know, it doesn't really hit. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream here and I'm going to get into the marketing side of things, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Thank you so much for helping me out, J-Mart, Vince, and everyone else in chat. I really appreciate you guys keeping me company while we were debugging the freaking email thing. Oh my God, that email thing actually drained my energy. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, peace out, guys. Check out Ace if you haven't already, and I'll see you all tomorrow.